Hi, I'm Sofia, and I'm from Germany. My parents were historians and restorers. They even set up their own restoration studio. I spent a lot of time there ever since I was a child and found everything my parents did fascinating. I could watch you forever. I spent all my free time studying history books and studying brushstrokes. She's so weird. The other kids didn't want to be friends with me, but that didn't bother me. When I turned 16, I asked my parents for something I'd long dreamed about. Hire me, please! I want to work in your studio! You're too young. You don't have enough experience to work on important commissions. How am I supposed to gain experience if you won't let me practice? Mom and Dad don't take me seriously. Why is everything so pink? Valentine's Day is only a week away, and everyone at school was going nuts. You have no one to celebrate with. You just go around and complain all the time. Just admit it. I bet you won't get a single Valentine just like last year, or the year before, or all the years before that. Because no one is interested in a nerd like you. I'm not interested in such nonsense anyway. If I ever go out with someone, it's going to be a real night, like those from historical novels. Sure, a knight on a white horse is going to just appear out of nowhere. Ouch! Sorry, I didn't see you there. That's Mark, the school soccer captain. He was the most popular and the dumbest boy at school. Next time, buy glasses instead of a new ball. Mark, I fell too. Could you help me up? It was a boring day until the history class changed everything. Our teacher, Mr. Becker, told us amazing news. As you all know, I've been trying to organize a tour of ancient castles for you for a long time now. Yesterday, I finally finished signing all the papers for it. We're leaving in a few days. How many historical sites are we going to visit? Where can I see the full program? By the way, let me introduce Christoph. He was a good guy and my only friend.
Are there soccer fields and castles? I need to practice.
When I got home, I told my parents about the tour. What a great idea! You should relax and enjoy seeing new places. I'm going to study old paintings and techniques.
Sofia, we talked about this.
I'm going to prove that I can pull my weight. The tour was out of this world. Wow, look at this architecture.
Not a single soccer field around. This castle was built in the 19th century. According to legends, the aristocrat who lived here fell for a young man with no title and ran away with him.
These paintings have been restored so masterfully. There was an inn in one of the castle wings, and we stayed the night there. Valerie, this dress looks so good on you. I can make any clothes work because I'm gorgeous.
Why do they have to be my roommates?
After lights out, Mr. Becker stopped by our room to make sure everyone was asleep. But as soon as he left, all the students went wild. Let's party! Valerie invited the rest of our classmates to our room. They chatted, fooled around, and even tried to dance. Shh! Someone's coming!
Must be hearing things. Have you seen his face?
I wanted to study, but it was too noisy for that, so I went out into the hallway. My thoughts kept wandering back to one of the paintings I'd seen during the day. I want to see it again. It had been bright in the hallways during the day, but now I had to use the flashlight on my phone to light the way. Come on, Sophia. You've never been afraid of the dark. I had the feeling someone was following me. I saw your shadow. Who's there? I suddenly noticed bats behind the window. Terrified, I started running and only stopped when I reached the gallery. Phew, let's see what we have here. I carefully touched the painting and suddenly felt a strange bump beneath my fingers. It almost looks like a button. I pressed it and the painting suddenly moved to the side. There was a dark chasm behind it. The next moment, I felt a hand on my shoulder. I couldn't help but scream. Before I continue, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the Private Diary channel.
If you scream like that, all the castle ghosts will flock here.
What are you doing here?
I was wondering where you went.
So it was you following me around?
I wonder what it leads to.
I'll ask Mr. Becker about it in the morning.
Sure, do that. But I'm going to go see for myself.
Hey, wait! I tried to stop him, but Mark pulled me along instead. As soon as we were inside, the painting suddenly returned to its place. Great! Are you happy now?
Hey, I wasn't the one who found the secret passage.
But you're the reason we're stuck in here. The walls are too thick. No one will hear us. We should go ahead. It was scary, but at the same time, I felt like I was in my favorite historical novel. After a while, we saw a staircase ahead. We climbed up, opened a wooden hatch, and found ourselves in a forest. How do we get back?
Leave it to me. The castle's in that direction. Come on, I'll lead us to it.
Wow, you're not as dumb as I thought.
And you're brave for a nerd.
I decided not to tell Mr. Becker about our night stroll. Mark had a better idea.
I read online that there's a secret passage in this castle. Is it true?
Sure it is. It was discovered behind a painting a couple years ago. Legend has it was used by the daughter of the castle's owners to escape with her lover.
Romantic, is it? You and I were just like those lovers.
Don't be ridiculous. What could Mark be whispering to her? What did he want? He had a question about history. At home, I showed my parents the notes I'd made during the trip. Look at these techniques. I could use them for work.
I'm sorry, but this isn't enough to convince us.
You're still too young to work with real paintings. That isn't fair! I'd marked the next day black in my calendar. There were sickening hearts and ugly cupids all around school. I just need to put up with it for one day. Do you have a moment? I need to tell you something. Please distract me from this pink apocalypse. I'm not sure how to say it. A Valentine? It wasn't signed. I looked around in surprise and suddenly met Mark's eyes.
Do you want to go for a walk after school?
Are you asking me out?
You could say that.
It was so unexpected I didn't know what to say. Mark took my silence for agreement.
See you later then.
Are we in a parallel reality? Or am I having a nightmare? If you are, I am seeing it too. What did you want to talk about?
Oh, it's nothing important, but you shouldn't hang out with Mark.
Don't tell me what to do. It's none of your business who I hang out with. After school, Mom suddenly called me and asked me to hurry home. Mark offered to come with me and waited outside while I talked to my parents.
We've been working on this for a whole week.
It's a very valuable painting. We need you to deliver it to our customer. We can't entrust it to a courier. Of course, it wasn't the job I dreamed of, but it was better than nothing.
I'll go with you.
Why did you suddenly ask me out?
It took me a while, but I saw something in you.
Did you follow my advice and finally buy glasses?
You're funny. This is for you.
But you've already given me a Valentine.
What are you talking about?
Who left the Valentine in my locker if it hadn't been him? A guy suddenly ran past us and snatched the painting out of my hands. Hey!
I'll catch him. Stop!
Mark tried to stop the thief, but he broke free and ran away.
At least I gave him a black eye.
Oh no! My parents won't even let me work as a courier for them after this!
Don't cry. Can't you fix it somehow?
You're right. I'll fix it myself. I told the client the painting wasn't ready yet. Then I took it home and spent the night restoring it. I won't be done by morning.
Don't worry, you can do it.
Despite my worries, I also couldn't get the second Valentine out of my head. Was it just a prank? The next day, Christoph didn't come to class.
He didn't tell me he wasn't coming, but it is quite strange. Christoph never skips classes.
I called him and he answered. He said he was sick, but I felt like he was hiding something from me.
Listen, you should stay away from Mark. He's not who you think he is.
This again? If you don't stop, I won't call you again.
Sofia, you're Christoph's only friend. Could you bring this to him?
I had to postpone my walk with Mark and go to Christoph's place. Come on, Christoph is in his room. The first thing that caught my eye was a huge bruise on his face, and then I noticed a backpack stained with paint in the corner of the room. You're the thief who tried to steal the painting! Wait, this isn't what it looks like. What else are you hiding there? What's this? I like you! I was trying to tell you that when you found my Valentine in your locker, but then you saw Mark. I heard him talking about you with his friends. That slimeball doesn't deserve you. You're just acting like an idiot because you're jealous. And the worst thing is you ruined the painting.
About that.
I don't want to hear it. You've done enough already. That night, I almost finished the restoration.
You're doing great.
I was about to turn off the video, but then noticed paint on my hand and got distracted. Mark also forgot to hang up, and I accidentally overheard him talking to a friend of his.
I think the nerd has fallen for me. She'll agree to become my girlfriend soon and I'll win the bet.
Angry tears stung my eyes. I carefully hung up and burst into tears. Christoph was right. Mark is a slime ball. How could I fall over him so easily? Over the next few days, I continued to play along like I hadn't heard anything.
This is a rare edition. I got it for you.
That's so sweet.
It must be heavy. Let me help.
At moments like that, I wanted to blow up on him. Eventually, Mark asked me out in gym class.
Everyone heard him.
I must be dreaming.
What do you say?
Of course. No.
What? Why?
I heard you talking to your friend and I know about the bet. Sorry to disappoint you, but you lost.
Wait, it was like that at first, but I ended up liking you for real. Stay away from her.
After school, I came home to take the painting I had finished restoring and headed for the customer's house. However, when I arrived, I was in for a surprise. Mom? Dad? What are you doing here? Sorry, we asked Christoph to steal and ruin the painting.
We wanted you to get a real job so much that we decided to test you.
What? At first I was mad at those cunning foxes, but after they let me work in the studio, I quickly forgave them. Christopher and I made up, and he often came over to watch me work. Sometimes, though, I found myself missing a different guy. One day, I was sitting in the studio when a courier knocked on the door. These are tickets to a popular historical exhibition. Getting them couldn't have been easy.
I can guess who they're from. You shouldn't go.
I hesitated for a long time, but decided to give Mark another chance. Besides, I really wanted to see that exhibition.
Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you.
When I arrived at the exhibition, I immediately saw Mark. He was standing at the entrance and kissing Valerie. God, I was such a moron. I went back to the studio and threw myself into work. But I was so upset, I accidentally used the wrong reagent. I spilled it and immediately felt a terrible stinging in my eyes. I can't see! Luckily, my parents were at home. They called an ambulance and I spent the next 2 weeks in the hospital. Christoph and some classmates visited me. Mark worries and keeps asking about you too. I don't want to talk to him. I asked the nurses not to let him in. I couldn't see well for a while, but my eyesight was restored after rehabilitation. I was discharged right before the holidays, and my parents prepared a pleasant surprise for me. They built a modern resort for young people in the nearby town. You could swim in a bunch of pools, get some treatments, and have fun there.
We already paid for your stay.
My eyes still didn't react to bright light well, so I wore sunglasses during the day. As soon as I arrived, I decided to take a dip in the hot jacuzzi, but then I heard a familiar voice.
Didn't expect to see you here. How are you? Still can't see?
A plan instantly formed in my head. Yeah, could you help me get to the jacuzzi? I don't think I can do it. Could you carry me?
Mark seemed to feel really guilty because he did everything I asked. Here, I got you a cherry juice.
I asked for mango flavor.
No, you said cherry.
Okay, I'll go by myself.
Sit down, I'll get it. Hey baby, follow my voice. Whoever messes with her will have to deal with me. I've been meaning to say it for a while now. I'm sorry I made a bet about you back then. I wish you'd given me a second chance and come to the exhibition.
I could barely hold back from snapping at him. He had no idea I'd seen him with Valerie.
Would you like some ice cream?
I'll have the strawberry one over there, please.
So you can see.
Why did you lie to me? I didn't hold back my anger anymore. You made a fool of me twice. I came to that freaking exhibition and saw you kissing Valerie.
She found out that I invited you and was waiting for me at the door. As soon as I came, she kissed me. I pushed her away and waited for you,
but you never came. Am I supposed to believe that?
Why would I try to explain myself otherwise? And by the way, you went too far with your revenge. I was really worried about you. There was only one person who could have told Valerie about our date. When I got home, I cornered Christoph.
Fine, I told Valerie about the exhibition. Mark doesn't deserve you. I'm much smarter than him.
No, you're a fool. After the holidays ended, I didn't know how to act around Mark at school. I'm so lost. After leaving the house, I suddenly saw a white car parked by our gate. I'm not a knight, but this beauty has 300 horsepower. Let's start over?
I finally said yes, and we became an item.
Christoph transferred to some school for smart kids, and if rumors are to be believed, found a girlfriend there.
I'm still working in my family studio, but my parents are now worried about my every move. They're afraid I might hurt myself again. What should I do to get them to relax?